Let's cut to the chase. We all know why you're here. You want to play the Dino Dungeon demo. But first, you're going to have to do something for me. Watch the whole video. I really need that watch time. The Dino Dungeon demo is on itch.io. The Dino Dungeon demo is free, but if you do donate some money, it will go to the Black Lives Matter movement. Basically, if you don't play Dino Dungeon, you simp Trump. That's how it is. It's free, it has 10 levels, it has control support, and what are you using the internet? Why don't you go ahead and wishlist the project on Steam? What, is Dino Dungeon not good enough for your wishlist? Huh? Get out of here. On with the video. When I'm laying awake at night thinking of Dino Dungeon progress, I think of the hurdles that I have to overcome in order just to get a demo out there. One of which was the save system. I couldn't possibly allow myself to put out a demo that was using player prefs, knowing on Windows that when you use player prefs, it's actually adding things to your Windows registry. The last video I did a pretty big step, which was the save system, but really I need to take bigger strides with these devlogs. So in this video I'm going to cover all sorts of things. Another significant hurdle is the game's user interface. Basically, it's garbage and I need to scrap it and do it all again. Here we have a menu with the Dino Dungeon logo at the top, which was voted for by my Discord, and then we have some buttons here, and we also have a wishlist Steam button, and at the bottom these dinos will appear as you unlock them. Games Plus James has a really good tutorial on how to create menus that are also controller compatible. What you'll find when you follow a lot of tutorials to do with controller compatible menus is that yes, you can now select things using the controller like I am here, but the other thing is when you hover the mouse over something, now I'm highlighting something else, and the play button is still highlighted. And with the controller, I can also highlight other things still, whilst the cursor is highlighting something else. After some Googling, I found a Unity forum, and it's just this script. You add this script to each of your buttons, and now I can use the controller, and then when I hover over something, I am only highlighting one thing. I move away, I continue with the controller. It's just a weird quirk with Unity UI that you have to overcome. When you click play, you are sent to a level select. I used this tutorial from Brackies on how to make a level select, which uses a scroll rect and UI elements. Now, I like the look of this level select, but there were some problems getting here. As the player unlocks these levels, these buttons actually appear, so they're actually dynamic, they're generated. However, I have found an issue with UI elements that are dynamically instantiated. If I switch the game into 720, when we go to here, we see that they are not scaled properly. This is something to do with when the button is instantiated, and there is some sort of scaling mishap in the canvas for Unity. I had an idea that it's to do with when the button is instantiated. So in my level button generator, which is a script that generates these buttons based on how many levels you've unlocked, instead of start, I just write awake, I hit save. Now awake will actually run before save does. So if I go here, as you can see, they're now scaled properly. This is like a fix that I came up with. There may be just a better way to do it altogether. So absolutely let me know in the comments. I should also mention that this is a scroll rec, so if you had many levels, you'd be able to scroll through them, and as you can see, I'm using a controller to do this, and also there's this over here, so you can do that this way too. Figuring out how to get the scroll rec to move so that you can always see the level that you're trying to select was not easy. This Unity forum post has a solution that I use, the scroll rect position script. It will set the position of the scroll rect based on the position of the item that you are highlighting. It's not perfect, I tweaked it around a little bit, but this is definitely the way to go, and it saved me lots of time. Growing up, I watched a lot of Total Biscuit. Total Biscuit, absolutely obsessed over settings menus. Maybe back then, I didn't understand why he obsessed over it so much, but now I do. You don't know what the player has in terms of hardware, so giving them options so that they can play your game is really important. For example, one pet peeve I have is that if the game doesn't have a windowed mode, I basically can't play it. This is because I have a 43-inch monitor. It's a very large monitor and it's great for productivity. However, if your game doesn't have a windowed mode, I can't play it. Also, because I have one big monitor instead of many smaller monitors, when I record gameplay, I need the game to be in windowed mode so I can see OBS. So you need options for people who want to play your game, and potentially you need options for people who want to record your game. Dino Dungeon, even though it's a very basic platformer game, has a settings menu. Now, I have some music sliders and some sound effect sliders, so that's great. What's really important that I have is I have a target FPS. It was really important for me to have an option for this because Unity games typically run on the max frame rates that they can. Dino Dungeon defaults at 60, if you have a potato machine it can be 30. I don't know why you play it uncapped, but you can if you want to. Also, screen resolution was very important, and of course, full screen. Hopping into the game, if we go to level 1, you can see that my pause menu is here. I have a resume, I have a restart. Dino Dungeon is a puzzle game, and each level gives you just enough tools to solve the puzzle, which is traversing the level. Now, if you misuse the tools that the game gives you, then you need the option to start again. So my main menu has a restart option. The menu also has a level select, and as you can see I recycled the main menu level select. A lot of the time the player won't know that they need to change the settings until they're actually playing the game, so it's important to put that in the pause menu. And finally, just a way back to the main menu. It was also really important to me that when you complete the demo, I say thank you for playing the Dino Dungeon demo, give you an option to wishlist on Steam. Also, this is controller compatible too. It's really important to build out a proper Steam page. I had never done Steamworks before, and I didn't realise how many images I would need to make for Steam. Also, the itch page where you can download the demo is really informative. It tells you how to play it on keyboard, controller, tells you what to expect, it's got some screenshots, it has a big old add to wishlist on Steam button too. I've always had these levels just to experiment with different gameplay ideas. Now, I know how to complete them, because I created them. But before putting the game live, I've let numerous people have a go with the game, and I found that a lot of people really struggle. They must not be big PP like us. Bet they're not even Floor Gang. Heck, I bet they're not even Milk Gang. Heck, I bet they're not even Purple Alien Gang. Gen Z has entered the chat, so I tweaked certain levels. All I really did was make a gap here a bit smaller, this jump more accessible, and all of a sudden like level 10 goes from impossible to just way too easy. Level design is just something that I'm just continuously learning. Now that you've made it this far into the video and you've helped me out with my watch time, I'm going to help you out. I just did a video about itch.io's bundle for racial justice and equality. In the video I actually say that there were 740 games for $5, but now they've actually bumped it up to 1,427, so they've doubled it. In the video, which you should definitely watch, I go through certain games that are worth way more than $5. And since they doubled the number of games, there are other games such as Celeste, Night of the Consumers, and Nuclear Throne. However, let's say you're really young and you don't have a credit card, a debit card, let's say you're really tight on money. If you join my Discord server, on the last day of the sale, I'll at everyone and be like, who wants a copy of the itch.io bundle for racial justice and equality? For the first 5 people who reply, I'll buy it and gift it to you. Really, that's the video, but here's a life update. Since the last devlog, I got sick, I got tested, I got better, the results never came.
Sure, which one do you want? Xbox Game Bar or Game Controller Tester?
And then the George Floyd video comes out, and I gotta sort out all my friends into you're trash and you're not trash. I made a video on my own experiences with racism. I actually lost subscribers, it's fine, the trash is taking itself out. And other than that, even though like we have this time where we're all in quarantine and that we all have quite a lot of time on our hands so that we can throw ourselves at something that we're passionate at the same time, it's really hard to focus with all the sobering news happening in the world. But it's also comforting to know like all content creators are feeling that, and that we can all like stick together and just power on. Also, I think a 1,427 list of games can probably help me through this. Speaking of which, I have a second channel, and it's usually the Super Salty podcast channel, but I've actually turned it back into Nino Plays. And I think what I might try doing is not only will the podcast be there, but I will play indie games. I mean, the idea is that I could help promote lesser known projects, I could review projects that are work in progress and offer some feedback, and also it might just be good for my mental health to play some games every once in a while. That's the video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the video, and hit that bell button so when I make something at my end, you can receive it on the bell end.